You know what I mean? Because Vin was pushing for me. Now, Vin wanting me in was like all I needed in life to know that this legendary gangster, Goodfellas, was based on him. Latanza Heist, this guy wants me in? Wow. And my chest up to here, I was like, I'm happy. That's all that matters. If I don't go in, I'm happy with that.
What up, guys? This is part 2 with Mr. Gene Borrello, the most popular XY's guy on YouTube. And just so you guys know, Gene has a TV series coming out soon. And just so you know, on The Sopranos. It's going to be awesome. Champ, let them know what's up.
Tracksuits or nothing.
One thing you haven't touched on, can you talk about like your relationship with other young wise guys? Like say from other families. Like describe like how that went. Like guys that were your age, say there was an associate in the Gambinos or the Genovese or something.
Right.
Did you have buddies and other?
Absolutely.
So like describe like your interactions with them or like what you guys would do together and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
so it's like this. Like you for instance, you're a mob guy, you're from my neighborhood, but you got recruited by a different family. That's it. So basically, let's say for instance, like my friend Berger. He was my best friend growing up. Real tough Irish kid. We're best friends with the guy every day. I'm Bonanno. He's Gambino. We still hang out every day. Same thing. We just, when it comes down to what you want, war, we'll side with our own people. But until then, we're together. Crime together, everything together. Hang out, sports, everything. It's the same thing. It's not like, oh, I can't hang out with you. You're Gambino. It don't work. It's not like that, you know? Yeah. It's not like the movies. We all hang out to each other. We all know each other. You know what I mean? And we all hang out in the same social club even sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So that concept of like it's separated, it's not true. We're all friends.
Now, would that be the same thing? It's like obviously, what did you say his name was?
Burger.
Yeah. So like you have something coming, something coming down the pipe, and you're like, I'm gonna get a hold of Burger because that's my guy.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe a guy in your crew.
No, it's just that happens. Well, you do it together. You know what I mean? It's like a joint thing. Like you don't have to check in with stuff like that. The only time you have to check in, like when you're doing something, if it's like something violent. Like, listen, Burger needs me to help him go hurt someone because now you could put your people in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? That you have to tell them.
Your family names out.
Yeah. Oh, well, Ronnie's guy just did something with Burger and they shot this guy, something like that. Right. Then you have to check in and let them know what's going on. If there's a sit down because now you didn't tell them what's going on, you're blindsiding them and you'll get in trouble for that. Like stuff like that happens. Yeah.
Was there any guy that was in another family or even your family that was associate that was your age? Any guy that was just like a straight up
yeah, tons of them.
Like they couldn't fight.
Oh no, just clowns.
Well, what are you doing in the mob?
Pudgy.
But who's
Pudgy.
That?
He was a guy. He's the reason why we had all our beefs. This kid was a drug dealer, and the stick-up kids would just be like this. Oh yeah, Pudgy got a little. Go rob him. He would just get robbed once a week, and it was insane. I'm like, bro. He was like a hurt. I'm like, bro, how do you get robbed so much? Like Ronnie G used to go crazy if this kid gets robbed one more time because he's giving Ronnie $40,000 a month. Yeah. So Ronnie's like, that's my golden goose, Gene. Protect him like you'd protect my son. That's what you tell me. I know the kid's a herb. I know he's a punk. Protect him. He gives me so much money. I said, Ronnie, this guy makes us look like such jerk-offs. Every time he's getting robbed. Bro, once a week, it's like tied up in his house. This way. I'm like, bro, how many times are you going to get robbed? I'm like, I end up shooting somebody over it. You know what I'm saying? Chris Cagnata. I end up popping him over it,
How can you be in that life and not be tough,
Because money, like you gotta understand, like money will, pull the blind and make you blind. A lot of gangsters get blinded by the money. We'll say, bro, this dude never been in a fist fight, and he's a rank. Imagine me taking orders from a guy who never even been in a fight, but because you paid so much money, I gotta listen to you. They did on your life, so it's like it bothers us. But money is, that's what they want. Ronnie's like, bro, he gives me $40,000 a month, so Ronnie would do anything for him.
So there's guys that legit can't fight. They're not
can't
tough.
Fight, never did nothing, never been. Bro, I'll tell you a better part about Pudgy. I hate to embarrass him like this, but it is what it is. His wife got tied up with him, right? Tied up. Somebody tied my wife up, slapped her on her ass, made a mockery. I find out who the guy is. He's my friend's father, Chris Blood. This is 2013. I find out years later. I go to Ronnie. I says, we're killing this guy. He tied up Pudgy's wife, made a mockery of him, slapped her in the ass. That's sex offender shit. He's got to go. Ronnie goes, kill him. But if Pudgy don't come with you, you're not doing it. I went to Pudgy. I said, we got the guy. You know, you've been looking for this guy forever. I said, I got the stolen car. I got the pistols. Just drive. No. Look, no. So what do you mean no? He tied your wife up. I says, well, Gene, it's going to mess up the money. I says, you more worried about your money? This guy tied your wife up. He slapped her. I says, we're killing this guy. No. I went back to Ronnie, and I says, Ronnie, you don't want to do it. He goes, his balls are He's so mad. Yeah.
How could, like, how?
And that's a real story. That's on my dead Goodfellas grave. That's on federal government knows that story. Everything. He did not want to retaliate for his wife.
That's crazy.
Okay?
Man.
If someone tied up, which they would never would, but if someone did do that to me when I was in that life, I would not stop hunting you until I got you. Mm-hmm. By any means necessary. You know what I mean? So for a guy like that, he's such a coward. It's a coward move. You know what I mean?
Were there other guys like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
What do they do in jail?
Well, we had one guy. It was so pathetic. He was literally coming to Ronnie, just wanted to be cool with us.
What do you mean, just want to be cool?
Just says you're going to laugh. He owns a big construction company. This guy's loaded. Why do you want to be friends with us? I'm like, why do you want to be friends with us? We're like, all right. So Ronnie goes, oh, you all right? He goes, yeah, I just want, just tell people I'm around you. I'll give you $2,000 a week out of my company.
What?
Me and Ronnie are laughing in the car.
That's street credit, huh?
Like, he just wants to be known, like, I'm with Ronnie and them. Right. That's my crew. Yeah. And we're laughing like, bro, this kid's a derelict. Like, if you're giving us $2,000 a week, Ronnie, $2,000 a week just to say you're friends with him? Like, this is sad almost. You know what I mean? This is what goes on in that neighborhood, though, bro. I'm telling you, we're like celebrities over there, so they want to be around you. They want to look cool. Meanwhile, look at the shit we're doing to be... You know, I get mad because I came up, like, real. I had to do all this crazy shit. Like, I'm getting sent on suicide mission. This guy's giving money. Like, it's not right, bro. I'm like, you know, I got proposed at a young age. I was supposed to be a member. I got proposed at 27 years old, but I didn't get put into membership. Well, there's a lot of reasons. I was way out of control at one time. They were kind of skeptical of giving me power. I was caught on wiretap because I was way out of control. Like, just bad. Ronnie was in prison saying every day, I'm hearing something new about this kid coming to me. Can we straighten this kid out? This kid's gonna be leaving people over the street. You know, you can't. So that was one reason. And then Ronnie didn't want me on his list. When you get straightened out, the FBI knows right away. Boom, he's a member now. Put him on the list. Ronnie on federal parole, I can't go near him no more. Automatic year for him. Contact with a member. We have a list of people we can't go near when you're on probation. It's this thick. But I didn't even know half the guys.
Even though you're an associate, though.
Don't matter.
So the member changes.
Membership changes it. Okay. Once you're a member, that's it. He cannot hang out with me no more on federal probation. He'll get 1 year automatically. So he didn't want that. That was another excuse. You know what I mean? Because Vin was pushing for me. Now, Vin wanting me in was like all I needed in life to know that this legendary gangster, Goodfellas, was based on him. Latanza Heist, this guy wants me in? Wow. I had my chest up to here. I was like, I'm happy. That's all that matters. If I don't go in, I'm happy with that. You know what I mean?
This is Vinnie Asaro for people listening. We talked about that last time.
He trained me, man.
Speaking of the Lufthansa heist, we talked with we spoke with your cousin, Anthony, yesterday actually, and he was describing how realistic you had pointed out last time as well, how real Goodfellas was. He said Tommy DeSimone used to pick him up. Anthony said Tommy DeSimone used to pick him up. They used to go out together and stuff. Did you have a relationship with any of the actual
sons?
The sons of
Anthony Stabile, his son, he's dead. Died of drugs. So a lot of people in my neighborhood are dying of drugs. I told you, of fentanyl. It's killed like 30-something of my friends in like the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. They're putting in everything. So Anthony Stabile's son's dead. He was a tough guy, just like his father. My grandfather, funny story. My grandfather used to be a driver sometimes for robberies, and on like bank jobs or things like that.
Right.
They would ask him, "You want to be a driver?" He would go, "Well, who's going?" You go, Anthony Stabile, Tommy D. Not going, hang up the phone. They go in there like this. Like, it's, you know, they were just going there shooting people, and they were just crazy, you know what I mean? So he would never go be a driver for them. Right. Anthony Stabile, those characters were really nuts. You know, those were real guys. Tommy DeSimone, Joe Pesci played him, was short, but he's really tall and skinny. Right. My grandmother said all the girls thought he was good-looking, all the girls liked him, but he was a notorious, you know, lunatic. Right. Yeah. I mean, running the streets. But I never had any interactions with them, but all their relatives. So, like I said, Howard Beach is all, boom, the fathers all hang out, the grandfathers, and then all the kids. So everyone knows each other, you know what I'm saying? So that neighborhood was just, that movie was based on our neighborhood, basically. Ozone Park, Howard Beach, Goodfellas is based on our neighborhood.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
We also discussed Anthony had a close relationship with John Gotti Sr.
Yes.
We never asked you about that, just John Gotti Sr., but what did you think of John Gotti Sr.? What did you think of him? Just in general. Like, what were your thoughts about him? Did you look up to him?
I was a kid, obviously, but yeah, he's a gangster, man.
Did you look up to him?
I mean, that wasn't my era. I mean, you see him on TV and things like that. My family obviously knew them very well. You know what I mean? I didn't know him. I knew his family very well, like his nephews, his grandkids was one of my best friends. His youngest grandson was my co-defendant, actually worked for me directly. But him, I would just say this. He broke all the rules. He's like me. He didn't follow the rules. Look, this is why I said it the last time. He's just like me. I liked his style. He didn't follow the rules. He did what he wanted, and he saved his friends. That's why he killed Paul Castellano, because he didn't want his friends to die. You got to respect that guy. Yeah. He didn't do that for no other reason. He says they got the wiretaps. They know he's selling drugs. We got to get him, or we're all dead. He saved his friends. He's just like me in a way. I mean, obviously, I'm not him, but he's status, but I like his personality. Those are the kind of guys I like to be around. Vinnie Asaro, same way. Those kind of people. Yeah. I like those kind of guys.
Just a real person.
Real guy.
You know, I got
Stand
your
up
back,
for his
I got
people.
your back. Correct.
Yeah, 100%. I got your back. You know, Vinnie always told me, I'll always have your back. Just tell me the truth. What's the situation? I'll always have your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He never ever, like, you know, always told me, I got you. Don't worry.
You were a fashionable guy, right? Did you like the hand-painted ties and all that stuff? No, you weren't a fan of John Guy's fashion?
No, I'm not a suit guy at all. Right. I told you I used to get yelled at about it. They said you dress like a rapper. I'm like, all right, whatever, bro. You know, we got this watch, this bezel flipping out. You know, I'm like, all right, whatever. Get a gold watch. You know, they always complain about my style. But I says, well, when you need the job done, it don't matter what the I have a clown suit on. It's getting done, right? Does it matter what I'm wearing? If I have Jordans on when I'm getting your work done? Holy I said, is this right? I said, you worry about what I'm wearing?
Uniform?
I told my grandfather, you chasing the guy in tap shoes. Like, come on, bro. You go tap shoes on. Where you going?
What was, you brought in his grandson, right?
Yeah, I recruited his grandson.
What's his grandson like?
Grandson was a tough little I told you, his father, John Gotti's grandson, one of the youngest ones, John Sr.'s youngest son's name is Peter. He was the toughest guy in the neighborhood at one time. I told you, when he come in the park, it's like Debo's coming. Everybody starts running, getting scared, you know what I mean? He sees any little drug. Like I said, he kept the neighborhood clean, you know what I mean? His son was about 16 years old, and he's already knocking kids out cold. He had his father in him. His father was a real tough guy. He's already beating everybody up. So that name was kind of tarnished because John Jr. was labeled no good. The name, you know, the Victoria came out with the show, growing up Gotti, so the whole name was tarnished. So this kid, I kept saying, he's got it. Because I was always taught to recruit, and that's what we're taught. See the bad guys, grab them. They got it, bring them in.
And he was a bad guy?
Oh, he was bad, this kid. I got one coming up. And I told Ronnie was doing time. Ronnie was doing 7 years for extortion on a stockbroker firm. He took like millions of dollars from him. They gave him 7 years. So he's serving time. And I told Ronnie, I said, little Gotti. I said, I'm grabbing him. He goes, no, you're not. I says, yeah. He goes, no, you're not bringing those jerk-offs around. I says, no. I said, he's not like them. I says, this kid's good. I'm telling you, he's got it. I said, I'm telling you, I sent him to beat me up. He busted the kid's eardrum. His kid's tough. Long story short, I end up recruiting him. I bring him in at 16 years old, bro. I got him running around me 16 till he's in his 20s.
And how did you discover him initially?
In the park.
Just
running around and says, yo, you hear about this little Gotti kid beating everybody up? I says, what are you talking about, little Gotti kid? Which one? He goes, Peter's son. I says, oh, that's why. I said, I remember watching Peter tie people to the pole, strip them naked. He had one guy, listen, there's a guy in the neighborhood. Remember 21 Jump Street, Richard Grieco? Mm-hmm. There was a guy in the neighborhood that looked like him. So all the girls liked him. Yeah. Peter was mad. Peter called him to the park, stripped him naked to a flagpole, and was beating him with a belt in front of everybody.
Wait, just because the girls
because all the girls liked him. He locked my friend's brother in a dog cage for 2 days. Wait, he locked him in a dog cage on 101 Avenue. No, I swear it's a real story. When listen from my neighborhood, you know the story. My friend's brother got locked in a dog cage for 2 days. He had to go get his brother out of a cage because he said something to Peter's girl for something. Had him in a dog kennel for 2 days, okay? Yes.
It was not, he wasn't playing.
He was bad, bro. And nobody talks about Peter. They always talk about John Jr. I'm like, but what about Peter? He's the one that tortured everybody. He says, I mean, it doesn't make sense. You bring up John Jr., bring up Peter. He was the worst, you know what I mean? And that was his son. And he had just like him. He was tough, just like his father.
Did he, real quick, did he even know how long he would have been in that dog cage if he didn't know?
But you remember, this is the early 90s, so they're like royalty.
Yes.
So when they're doing things to you, you think you're just going to die. There's nothing you could do to them. They're an army.
Right.
They're an army at the time, so they run the whole 5 boroughs. What are you going to say? Imagine John Gotti's son picking you up in a car, and he's mad at you. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? So they just... Hopefully they make it out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just hope you're all right. I told you when I did the social club. I remember I looked out the window. I seen Ronnie and Mike Paranoia. I said, Yeah. So I went downstairs. He goes, go get the stuff. Yeah. And they made me go to a funeral parlor basement. I'm not going. I said, a funeral parlor basement? I said, I'm not going to a funeral parlor basement. I go there and myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they do that to with you mentally. They'll make you go to the most up places. Come meet me in the middle of the woods at 3 a.m. I'm not going there. What the you want me in the woods for at 3 a.m? I need you to move something. Well, eat a couch. I can tell you that much. What am I moving in the woods at 3 a.m? I see, paranoid. You think the hole's for you? You get crazy. You get weed it out. Because when you're dealing with old timers like Vinnie Asaro, he killed a lot of people. Mm. So at the end of the day, they smile. We're taught element of surprise. We're smiling at you the whole time while they're killing you. I have friends that kill best friends. You know what I'm saying? Right. I was talking about it today. My friend Talba Barker killed his best friend for the life. We didn't even know. Unsolved murder from 2002. It was a mob hit. Nobody knew who did it. 2011, 2010, I come home. This guy Howie had a wire on for 3 years. And I kept going to Todd. I said, what are you so nervous about, bro? I said, you're a bookmaker. You get 3 years. He's like, yeah, bookmaker. I was like, yeah. Comes out. Killed his friend, bro. You never know. He killed his best friend, shot him in the car, and got 23 years for it. But I'm saying you never know that life. We're taught. Always like this, smiling. And the guy shooting you back. Yeah, that's how we're taught. So with Vinnie Asaro, I used to get so nervous with him because I don't know if he's mad at me. This guy killed so many people. Remember, he killed Maurice Wiggs from Goodfellas. Mm-hmm. Right. He actually killed that guy, Maurice Wiggs, and put him on his property. He's one of the guys. People didn't know that. Maury was buried on his fencing company.
Wow.
This guy was a part of history. So when you're working for guys like this, you know how they resolve problems. They don't go dancing with you, you know what I'm saying? They're going to kill you, you know what I'm saying? So you got to, I was walking on eggshells. When I reported to Vinny, I was very militant with him. I knew Ronnie wasn't really a killer. He would if he had to, but he wasn't on it. Vinny's a killer. Mm-hmm. The old-timers resort to murder. You can't handle it, take him out. They don't resort to fighting and not kill him. They wanted me to kill the janitor. Thank God I didn't. I had to beg them to go talk to this guy. Guys pushes brooms. He put his hands on him. You don't know. Come on, we're going to kill a janitor? And he had to talk it down. He had to beat the shit out the guy. But it was like, I felt bad. Like, we're going to kill this guy. He's a broom pusher. Yeah. And Vinny that's how their mentality is. He comes up in the 50s and 60s. You can't put your hands on a wise guy. Yeah. You can't touch them. You can't look at them wrong. You go. So that's why working with him was much different than working for Ronnie. It was two different worlds. Like, Ronnie was a gangster, but Vinny was like, the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Old school.
Now, do you think they would do those things to you guys? Like, hey, come down. Obviously, when you talk about going down in the basement of the bar shop, your heart's probably popping up your chest, or like,
with you.
Exactly, to toughen you up.
No, not only that, they do it to make you think you're getting killed. This is what they like to do. You mess up with them, you break their rules. They'll tell you, come meet me in a junkyard in the middle of nowhere, somewhere where you're like, wow, this is scary, bro. But remember, you have to go.
Right.
If you get sent for and you don't go, you're labeled no good, you're chased. So it's a hit or miss. Everything you work for could be torn out just like that. Can you imagine that? Think about all the work I've done, right? Mm-hmm. Think of all the shit I told you I've done in my life where it accumulates to like astronomical things, right? Imagine you send for me, I don't go, all that's torn away. Everything I work for. Think about that. So with the Mafia, they turn on you just like this. Boom. One little thing you do wrong, you get sent for, you don't go, or you violate their rules, and everything you did is thrown away. I did all this work for you. Now I'm nothing no more. My money's gone, everything's gone for one little thing. So like I said, it's a crazy world, man. It was really crazy.
What you're describing, like when you said that they'll have you go places where just you. How old were you at the time? Like early 20s?
Which situation? With the funeral parlor?
Yeah.
I was 20, bro.
Okay, so like Ross and I were in college at the time, and we were in fraternities. So they do up shit like that where they have us go out in the woods or go in the basement, turn the lights up, and do all that shit. Obviously, we were in college, but they called it hazing, though, where they just...
They're trying to ban that, though.
Yeah. No, it is, yeah. But I knew I wasn't going to kill, though, I'll tell you that much.
But you were kind of getting with the haze, but in a serious situation.
In a horrible way.
In the Mafia, right? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to present an analogy for the people listening, but it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling because, all right, so this is the line. Don't cross that line. I was like 80 feet past it. So I was a habitual line crosser. And Vinny and them used to tell me, don't ever think you're bigger than the life. They used to always, his famous line was, don't ever think you're bigger than the life.
Point at the camera.
Yeah, don't ever think you're bigger than the life. That's what he used to tell me. And I used to tell him, what do you mean? He goes, you think you're bigger than the life, and guys that were ranks will die. You disrespect that life. You could be an underboss. You break the rules, they'll kill you. So think about me. I'm just an associate coming up. Keep breaking rules, you're going to go. But that was I wasn't in that era, thank God.
How did you get away with it all that?
Because they liked me. And I did a lot for them.
Because Vinny liked you.
Vinny loved me.
So he kept you safe.
He would make it like he didn't like me. but he really liked me because he would brag about me. I remember I was I did what I do. I did something for him, and he was bragging about me to the other neighbors. Now, mind you, Vinny's like really respected, well-known guy through the 5 boroughs. So he's in another neighborhood, and he's bragging about me. So I have to meet this guy about a situation with my cousin, something over a building. And when I met him, he goes, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you." He goes, "Vinny talks so highly about you." I'm like, "Vinny who?" He says, "Asaro." I says, No. I said, "You sure?" He goes, "Yeah, Vinny loves you." And I was so happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. Vinny's bragging about me around the neighborhood, because that's a big thing, especially in that life. You got the top of the food chain talking good about me,
Yeah.
So, it makes you like I'm in it,
It's such an interesting dynamic because you're so much younger than him, and you guys have so many different generations.
Well, him and my grandfather grew up together on the same block since they're babies. We all know each other. You know what I'm saying? It is dynamic, but in the Mafia, remember, you're going to work. I explain this to a lot of people. Your boss could be 30 years older than you. You're a captain. You just got made. You're a soldier. You got to get put with a crew. He could be a captain for the last 40 years. You're put with this guy. You're answering to a guy that's 80 or 30. That's the way it goes. That's the way the mob is. You know what I mean? Most of the bosses of the family, you're not going to be, it's not like the gangs. Oh, I'm a big homie at 25. No such thing as it. You have to be on record with a wise guy for 10 years at least, even to get proposed as a member. Then when you get proposed as a member, your name goes around on a list, and they have to approve it. Oh, no, he's no good. He owes money. You got to clear it out first. Then you get straightened out, and then you get put with a captain, and that's how it goes. It takes years.
Yeah, I got to present something since we're talking about this generation gap. So Adam, the guy that's going to be working with us, we won't give away the details of this, though, but he presented an analogy where, for example, back in the day, you would pull up in your car, like bumping 50 Cent, right? And then you get out of your car and you walk into the social club, and here's this older gentleman listening to Frank Sinatra in his suit or whatever, right? Like the opening scene of something, right? Like, was it like that where like you...
100%. Or they're pumping Romanza.
Yeah.
The song, they're pumping that. I'm over here pumping rap music. Yeah, they're pumping that. But we had social clubs. Remember, in the club, we're all hanging out. It was such a different era. But everything that is so true what you said. You know what I mean? So like I said, we'll pull up pumping 50 Cent. They're pumping Romanza. But the thing with that is that at the end of the day, they always have my back, and we always got along, and they always respected me. Even though they said you wear your Yankee hat to the side, and they used to get mad about it, and you look like a rapper, go hang out with Far Rockaway. I said, well, when you need the job done, I'll wear a clown suit, and it won't matter, right? I said, so don't worry about it. But like I said, they respected me. They did. That's one thing I can say. The mob guys, the older ones, they respected me because I was like them. They didn't respect the guys that just give money. They liked the guys like how I was. Hands-on, brutal, no nonsense, all about that life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can never say in front of an old timer, "Oh, the mob ain't the same." They'll go off on you. Yeah. These are guys that put their whole life into it. They don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
You think they won't order your shit to get dealt with? Don't say that in front of them. They don't want to hear that. So, that's what it was.
So it doesn't matter how old they were, say 60, 70 years old. Even though they're probably more frail in an older age, they still are tough, right? They still have that, or at least their mentality, right? They never stopped being a gang. They didn't lessen as a gangster as they got older in age.
They get worse as they get older.
Just they get more mean.
Yeah. They start ordering crazy shit because they're getting crazy. You know what I mean? They're older and whacked out. Yeah, it's actually worse when they're older.
Did you ever actually go out with them to the strip club or
not strip club, but I would go with Vinny to Barroso all the time. And
what's that?
It's like a restaurant, but when they go out, it's so different because they dress differently and everything, and they still think it's like the 70s where they hang out with their little girl. It's just different. The whole scene.
Yeah.
They're not coming to nightclubs or, the old timers. That's not their scene. You know what I mean? But they'll go to the restaurants. They'll hang out with you, stuff like that. But they won't do nightclubs and nothing like that.
But they would, you'd be in the scene talking to women or socializing with people and stuff, right? It's just fascinating to me, to that generation. You know what I mean? Like, say you drink the gin and tonic, right?
Yeah.
Would you just be drinking the same drink as him? Like, you guys were both drinking gin?
I got the drink from Vin.
Right.
That's why I started drinking it. Because I remember makes fun of me. It's an 80s drink.
Yeah.
I started sitting like him and acting like him, because, I'm always with him.
Did you ever drink with him?
Yeah, absolutely. And don't play cards. You can't play cards.
Why is that?
He throws things at people. He's the worst. He's the biggest soul loser. Bro, he'll be playing cards. Literally, my friend bought him in the game. Ramino. It's an Italian game we play. He bought him in the game. About an hour later, he's throwing something at him. You me on the play. He bought you in the game. You out on him. He just got you in the game. This is how he was. He was crazy. Don't play cards with him. Don't gamble with him.
So did you have to pretend to lose? Like fake, like let
we
him win?
hated when he came and played cards.
Because it ruined the whole thing, right?
And he has to come. He's a captain on the committee. He sets rules for the family. This guy's sitting in my club, and everybody's just nervous. You know what I'm saying?
Like, there goes the fun of the game.
I'm super close to them. These guys look at him like, you know what I'm saying? To me, he's just Vin. You know, I love him, but, you know, he's crazy. So when you sit at the table with him, he's playing cards, everybody's nervous. They don't know what to say. They're nervous around him.
It's just like an awkward tension.
And he looks like a gangster. If you see him, he's the glasses, he's not really kind of stone face, you know? He looks like the guy from Jaws. Remember?
Roy Schneider?
Looks just like him. But just a meaner version. And he's got the glasses, and he sits there, and he's just very militant and, you know, no nonsense. Yeah. But he's, you know, he can be cool. He cracks jokes here and there. But for the most part, when you're playing cards with him, everybody's, like, nervous.
Do you think he knew that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He probably did it on purpose.
No, but he just because, like, with him, there's rules with social clubs. No guns in the club. You can't bring guns in, you know, a lot of things. So he'll make sure no fighting in the club. You fight in someone's social club, the next day you're getting beaten. You know, so there's a lot of rules. He'll make sure, like, you know, when he's around, just be on your P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? So
he just kind of he gets over the line.
And he also wants to see what's being made in there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's a reason why he's there, you know?
Yeah.
So did you have to change how you spoke to him? Like, you didn't go up to him like, yo, what's up? What's up?
Absolutely not.
Are you like, hello, sir, how are you?
No, not like that.
But do you change how you talk?
Absolutely.
Really?
I change how you act and talk around him.
Really?
You have to. Yeah.
So you're still a gangster, but you have to change. It's just showing respect for your elders, I guess.
Yes. Not for your elders. You just got to, you know, don't look like an asshole in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Carry yourself, you know, like a gangster. You have to. You know, he's watching.
So it's interesting because you guys are all gangsters, right?
Right.
But you can't say like, what's up, G, or something like that.
No, hell no.
You know what I mean? So,
absolutely not. Hey, look, what the fuck you say to me?
Yeah. So there's that generational gap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Is it the same with Ronnie, even though he's not as
So
old?
Ronnie is, I'll be honest with you, Ronnie's not a friendly guy. He's not. He's very, like, how can I say it? Hands-on, but he's not friendly. So, like, he'll sit with you, but he won't, like, you talk with him. He's not like a jerk-off. He's just not a very sociable people person like I am. He's the opposite. And if you say something the slightest wrong, he's gonna assault you. You know what I'm saying? Not as like a bully, but like he don't play games. Like, you know, like you're not gonna like joke around him and like
at all,
like those ways. Yeah, not in front of people. We had a different relationship, obviously. You know, I was like his right hand man. So like, you know, when you're closer with somebody, you have a different relationship with them. But like in public, you can't like wrestle with him or joke around. You don't do that in front of people. You know, he's a rank and he's a very no nonsense guy, and he makes millions of dollars. So he has that arrogance with him too. He's living in a $3.2 million home, 8 cars, no job. We're all going to jail. Can't tell him that. You know what I'm saying? So you know, he's very militant. Very.
Were you like that, or were you?
No, I'm a people person. When they're not around, I'm a totally different person. When they're around, I gotta act a certain way. But when I'm with everybody and they're not around, I could, you know.
So a younger associate from the Genovese comes up to you, "What up, Gene?" Like, and he taps you or whatever, plays around with you. You were cool with that.
Yeah, not in front of people though.
Not in front.
We would never do that in front of nobody. You can't belittle nobody in front of nobody.
Okay.
No joking around like that.
No joking around.
Not really, not in front of people privately. You know what I'm saying? He's joking, but if there's people around, you can't do that in front of people. You can't smack you in your head in front of people.
Oh, well, yeah.
No, even joking like that, it's very, we're told to carry yourself as a man 24/7. There's nothing involved. You can't even talk to someone of that.
Yeah.
There's none of that stuff. You know what I mean? There's none of it. It don't exist. You know what I mean? So you just must carry yourself as a man 24/7. That's it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
There was I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
There's this guy named, you'd mentioned before, named Peter Tuccio. Now, I saw a picture that I was actually in New York.
He put himself in an indictment.
Look at his face.
Yeah, I know.
He got himself indicted.
He was posting photos. Well, I don't want to mention who he's with.
He wanted to go to jail.
He wanted to.
Yes. He used to work for me.
Yeah, no, I know. Can you tell? Yeah, like
the kid is an idiot. He literally was taking pictures with Joey Molino.
Yeah.
We're going to court with Joey Molino. Joey Molino is the boss of Philly. Everybody's watching this guy, you know, and they're like, who's this kid that keeps going? He's wearing like the 80s villain suits. Like, I know. He wears the turtleneck. I'm like, bro, this is a joke. He's like, he wants everyone to see him, you know. The kid's a little ballsy, you know. He was he got chased by us because he had a bad mouth on him. My people ended up beating him up, but
why? What did he say?
His uncle was Joey Cafe. His uncle was like a wise guy with a different family, but he just had a bad mouth on him, and he was constantly lippy and just disrespectful. And
to you too?
Not to me, no. But he did it to a few people, and he ended up getting beat up. He got chased to like Philly, which is like the bottom of the barrel. That's like you're going to like the lowest end of the Mafia. There's like 8 guys in the whole family. So like to leave New York to go to Philly, it's like you're going from like Hollywood to like Bollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally like nothing. So he went to Philadelphia and he was posing pictures with Joey Molino all over the internet. And the feds go, okay, let's look into Peter Tuccio, and got himself indicted.
Was he a tough guy?
Yeah, he has some balls.
He looks like, I mean, he doesn't, to be honest, he looks like baby face.
Well,
you know
a lot of people don't know about him. His dad was a cop. His dad was a cop. He comes from a cop family. That's what fucked me up. His sister's married to a cop. That was a problem I had, when he was around. I said, you come from a cop family. You're hanging out with all gangsters. It don't mean, well, my uncle's Joey Cafe. I says, yeah, but your uncle's not your blood uncle. He's your uncle because he married your aunt. So you don't really have no bloodline to organized crime. You're more of a cop bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So that confused me.
What did he say to you? He's like, let me hang around, Eugene? Like,
he was around. He's a kid in the neighborhood. They all do that. So they know I recruit people. So they try to like show off in front of me, things like that. When I'm the older kid, driving the nice cars and everything, and they want to get down. They'll bring things to me. I got fake Roxys. I got this. They'll bring things to me.
What impressed you?
He had fake pills. So we can make a fortune on them.
Okay.
He had thousands of them, and I had them selling for everybody in Long Island. They're fake. Basically selling you a Roxy, but it's an Advil.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Selling them by the thousands. So I had him going to sell everybody. He gave me half the money, and, that's how he got around me.
What impresses you as far as being a tough guy when you were in that life?
I don't like people that try to be tough. I like guys that are tough when it's time to be. That's how we're taught. I don't want a guy walking around bumping into people, looking for trouble. I don't respect that. I don't like it. When you bother me, like I was in a place last night, and the guy started with my friend, and I went ballistic on him.
What are you doing?
I went ballistic on him. He's dressed like the guy from Twilight. I was like, you're going to say something to me like you don't even know who you're speaking to. Like, you're dressed out of a Twilight movie. You're looking up. Like, you say something to my friend. Like, you have no idea who's sitting there. Like, you think I'm just going to allow, like, you to talk crazy? I went ballistic on him, but it's only when I have to be. Like, I never impose my will. When you see me, like I said, I like a guy that I know he's tough when he has to be. I don't want a guy showing it off.
Yeah, it's just chill.
I hate that. That bothers me the most. That aggravates me. That, what are you looking at? I don't like that stuff. It don't impress me. That'll make me want to do something to you.
Yeah. Is it hard, like, being in this new life when there are guys that are out at, especially bars and shit like that. There are guys that are not tough, but they call it peacocking, or they're putting on a front. Is that hard to restrain yourself when you know that there's a guy that's just a pussy, be walking around like he's the
I moved down to Tampa, and I could tell you I had about 5 altercations. They started every one. You know what they did at the end of the altercation? 911.
Right.
You start with me. I go after you. You're calling the police.
Yeah.
So I had so many interactions already out here with people like that. I just learned what it is. They just all this. All bark, no bite. And they're not used to someone like me that's very confrontational, because I don't look like the way I am. This is why the mob even like me more. I look like this nice, friendly guy, which I am. But when it's time to get busy, I'm like this tyrant. I just become this, machine. So in this point, I still have that. Yeah. So I look like this nice guy. I'm dressed nice. It's, nice, nice,
chill. Yeah.
And then once I switch, boom, I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
And I'm clearing out. And then that's it. And then I don't want to be like that no more. But out here, it happened several times where they're starting with my harmless friends.
Yeah.
And then I get into it with them, and then they call the cops.
Why are your friends, or you're just involved because you're friends?
Yeah, they're harmless. Like regular people work regular jobs. They're not street guys. I hang out with all regular people now. I don't hang out with no bad guys no more. I hang out with all successful, rich people, good people, but they're not fighters. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. You got these kids out here that pretend like they are, and then when I step in, well, I'm like that. So, all right, now we're going to do this. And then they're all, and they switch up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do people know who you are around here?
Now they do. A lot of them do. Yeah, a lot of them.
Really?
I got banned from so many places. I'm back in the addition now, thank God.
You were banned?
I was banned. I fought the whole security staff. Yeah. Yeah.
What, by yourself?
No, me and my friend, my other friend Mike. Yeah, he's from New York too. He's down here, my buddy. And something happened, and I wasn't having it. And sure enough, we had one guy hemmed up against the wall, and then the other guy that did start it, I got him, and then it went outside, and they said I couldn't come there no more. And then I finally got back in. They understood what happened. I was right. Yeah.
But for the most part, like when you go out, you're just looking to have a good time.
Yeah, I don't look for this shit, bro. I'm going to these fancy places, and a guy that's dressed in like he looks like a stockbroker. He's like starting like fights. Right. I was so it f***ed my head up. You know what I mean?
Isn't that a hard thing to deal with? Just Matt and I, like, you were training MMA, and we get that. So like, there's a difference between training in like athletic sport like that, like boxing or MMA. And then when you go out, you don't want to deal with that stuff.
Right.
And then it's annoying when you just want to enjoy yourself with your friends, and then that happens. And you know it's going to happen again at some point later. It's just got to be hard to deal with, especially from the life that you had at one point. So like this. So you just had to hold in my hands. And,
think about like when we're in New York, right? So everybody knows us who we are. And I don't run with that, but people are scared to look at us. Nobody wants to fight with us. We're mob guys. We run the neighborhoods. Like, we don't impose our will on nobody. But I'm not used to people like starting with us. And if it is someone starting with us, it's because they're like that. Albanians, other crews, wild, that we know we're gonna have. All right, we're gonna have it out. I'm not used to some dude dressed like I told you, like a Twilight guy, saying things to us. It's like, I told my friend, I said, yo, am I a herb now? I'm like what happened? Like,
because here's the thing though, that guy has done that to other people,
and no one's got away with
it. And then all of a sudden, there's another person. It's like he picked the one out of the whole bar that's going to go. You know what? This is actually I am about that. You go figure.
I'll tell you what happened. One time we were in the middle of nowhere in Tampa. My friend took me to a bar, and I see some biker guy keep looking at me, and he's looking at his phone, and then he's looking at me, and then boom! Finally, he walks over to me, and he's like, "Eugene Borrello?" I says, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I read your book, man. It was a real good book." But he's a biker guy. This guy's an active biker, and I'm like, "All right, cool." So my friend's like, "Are you coming with respect?" I'm like, "Bro, shut the up." Like, he's coming with respect. Like, shut up. Like, he always just goes into. I'm like, what are you doing? He said respectfully, like, what are you doing?
He said he read your book.
He's with like 90 bikers outside. You're just like, what are you doing, bro? You just read my book. Like, shut the up. Like, he came with respect. And I was like, oh man, we could just got some. The guy was
a club? Were they in an MC?
Yeah, he was not a
outlaw.
Maybe one of those. He had the
pagan
jacket on and everything, but he said, I read your book, man, and literally, he's like, a great book and everything. And then my friend goes, you come with respect? Like, bro, come on,
what did
man.
you say? Like,
I'm like, nah, he's an idiot. I was like, don't worry about this kid. Thank you. Trying to like.
What did the biker do?
He was like, no, I'm coming, like, got aggravated. Like, I'm coming with respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? And he turned out to be, it was good. But I get noticed sometimes like that. You know what I mean? And they never come at me disrespectful. It's always nice.
Do you get paranoid that when people are looking at you, like, because when you're all over the internet, you have a best-selling book.
Right.
And your formal life, do you ever walk around like, you're at the gym or something, somebody's staring at you, or you like, do you get paranoid that people are always staring at you because of your attention?
Well, and the podcast was really big at one point. So people would notice me a lot off the podcast. So I would be places and they would be, cool. Oh, Gene, I love that stuff you did. I love all the stories, you know what I'm saying? I was getting a fish spa. The fish eat you.
Oh.
The guy gave me the thing. He was like, oh, I love your show, Johnny and Gene. This is in the middle of like St. Petersburg. So bad. Yeah. I'm like, you watch that? He's like, yeah. So it was, like I said, I get noticed a lot. Everybody's always came at me with respect.
Yeah. Are you ever paranoid that like it might be somebody out to get you or something like that?
I know the guys that, like I said, I know when I'm in trouble and I'm not. Like, I know the guys that I know when they see me, it'll be something. And that's like a handful of guys. They're not even around. They're most of them are gone life or, dead. So the guys that are out here, like I told you, are herbs, bro. What's left of that life right now is a complete joke.
Yeah.
Like, I was living in Howard Beach. Again, I was driving a Porsche in Howard Beach. They were furious. I'm driving around a $100,000 car.
Right.
Where I didn't care. I was making a mockery. And then the government's like, you got to leave. Like, this is insane. Like, you're like taunting everybody now. You know what I'm saying? So
how are you not like worried that there would be
because I knew what I was capable of. And I knew what they weren't capable of. I was the one facing all the time. These guys were playing Xbox video games. I'm running around. These guys ain't doing what I was doing.
Real life Call of Duty.
On the indictment, look, and I'm not. Everyone knows this. On the indictment of all 19 of us, Ronnie was facing the second most time out of me, which was only 14 years. I was career arms acted. I had minimum mandatories. I had all the shootings, all the violence, all the crazy shit. So I was facing 35 years. My cop out was 35 years. If I blow trial, life. You blow trial on RICO, you get 100 years. You're done. My cop out was 35 years. You wouldn't even pay my federal attorney.
Yeah.
You make $400,000 a month. $400,000 a month. Are you kidding? This is proven fact. The government. He had to pay back millions of dollars. He paid it. He's one of the only guys ever to pay a forfeiture up front for the Brown crime family and paid the most money back.
Oh,
and you couldn't pay my lawyer for $200,000?
Yeah.
I used to count stash spots with him. 500, 700, 400. His cheap ass didn't want to get a counting machine because he didn't want to be off two bills. I'm like, I'm counting 500,000. You weren't about $40 being off. It's sick. I got to sit there and count 20s and 50s all night with this guy at 2 in the morning to put it in a bag and give it to his molo, put it in a safety deposit box. He had a safety deposit box everywhere.
Wow.
He had millions of dollars of cash. And they told me, can you ever bankrupt him? I says, no. The government, I says, you'll never bankrupt him.
Right.
Never. I says, he has liquid cash of millions of dollars. He'll give you $3 million and be laughing about it. And you know what he did? They took his house for $3.2 million. He paid the government $2.4 million. And he went and bought another mansion for $1.8 million on the water.
Oh, wow.
How spiteful is he? Okay? That's a real right there, right? So that shows you. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll show you. All right. And I take the 14 years, pay those millions, and they're going to go in a mansion again. That's up, right? Yeah. So I told him he never bankrupt that guy, you know?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. How much do you get for your accent? Not, but do people...
Yeah, I stand out like a sore thumb. I mean, everyone knows
right. Yeah.
As soon as they talk. But I hate that they say Boston. I'm like, where do you get Boston? Do I sound like a pirate? I'm like, yo, I don't sound like that. I'm like, bro, we sound nothing alike. You're saying like a pirate? I'm not a pirate, bro. I'm Italian. Boy, that's totally different. I'm like, right? We don't sound nothing like Boston, bro.
No.
So many girls be like, oh, you from Boston? I said, no, bro, it's New York. And then they say Jersey accent. I'm like, no, it's a New York 5 boroughs accent. Where'd Jersey take over our accent? Like, everyone's got it twisted with this accent, you know what I mean? It's a Brooklyn, Queens thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, everyone knows I'm from New York most of the time when I talk, or Boston. Please don't say Boston.
You guys hear that? No
No
more
Boston.
Boston.
Oh, my God.
So you recognize that. You recognize the fact that, like...
The whole swag is different.
Yeah.
I stand out like a sore thumb as soon as I talk and operate.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, he's definitely from, another world.
What's that like interacting with the girls down here? You know what I mean, with your accent?
Yeah,
and stuff? Is
they
that
like
a weird
so. It's
dynamic?
like it's either hit or miss. It's either they hate it or they love it.
Yeah.
It's either or, and that's why I'm very open about my life. I don't want no one to get any blind sides. You meet me and all of a sudden you look me up like, what the? You know what I'm saying? Wow, he's good looking. He's great. What the? Is this dude? He shot. Why he did this?
They type your name and send it to Facebook.
Prison. Oh my God. Because it's more of their families might get scared. Because I'm not like that no more. I'm not a street guy no more. But like, I look at us as high class criminals. I hate to sound like that. Like, come on, we're like royalty. We got like all the money, nice cars. We're not like gang members. Like,
Yeah.
I understand we still do violent crimes, but we operate different. We're in legitimate businesses. We do a lot of different things. But families do get scared. At the end of the day, you meet a regular girl. She comes from a regular family, all of a sudden, like, oh, meet my boyfriend, Gene Borrello, the ex-gangster from New York. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, let's look him up. And it's, that'll throw it off. You know what I'm saying? So it's a hit or miss. You know what I mean?
So you recognize that. Like, you're fully aware.
I have to be open about it. I don't like that. I don't want to lie to them. And then they, it's Google will tell you everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, what am I going to do?
Is it a hard thing to do?
No, I don't care. It's my life. I'm going to wear it. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, cover your tattoos. Because I have a murder written on my arm. That's our oath. I had it written right on my arm. I said, I'm not covering it as part of my life.
Right.
It's something I once believed in.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not.
And see, I think a lot of people respect that, obviously, because there's the people out there that kind of, we talked earlier, they're all full of BS.
Right.
And there's people like, you lived it, you owned it, it is what it is.
Right.
I changed my life for the better now, but that's who I was.
Yes.
So, and I think a lot of people respect that.
Well,
because then some people are like, oh, well, no, that was you.
Well, if you look at all the ex-mob guys that come out, right, I get the most views. Only 2 guys get one of me. Look at the names. Sammy Gravano and Mike Francis. They're basically A-list actors, if you want to say. He just interviewed Alec Baldwin. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the guys, the only ones getting more interviews than me, more views than me. I kill everyone with views. Usually, I just started TikTok. It's got like over 200,000 views in a couple of days because people just love the way I talk. I keep it real. I tell it what it is. I don't sugarcoat it. If I got beat up, if I got abused, I'll say it. I don't make myself look like He-Man. I just tell it what it is. X, Y, and Z. This is what happened. This is how it is. This is what I did. Guys like to make themselves bigger than what they were, lie. The other guy's on there saying he killed the Pope. Remember that's all I told you about? He's lying, going on Vlad TV talking about he killed 100 people with no coverage. Like, he's just lying. I'm not like that. I just tell it what it is. I keep it real, and that's why I'm friends with actors. I'm friends with so many celebrities. People hit me up. Like, they love the way I act, the way I am, because I'm just genuine. I wasn't a high rank. I was in the bottom in the mob. But I still outdo everybody because of my personality and the way I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to succeed.
You're honest in all aspects of your life.
Yep.
From dating to business.
Everything. I'll never lie to you. Don't tell me something if you don't want to hear it. I'll tell you, don't ask me something because I'm going to tell you.
Were you always like that?
Yes. My mom used to say you're too outspoken. I'm like, what? She asked me for shoes tonight. I says, no, they're not. What do you want me to lie and say they're nice? I don't like them. I'm not going to sell her something that she wants to hear with somebody. I just tell her what it is. Don't ask me my opinion then.
Can you talk about the celebrities that you have kind of a relationship with?
Yeah.
Talk to?
Yeah. I've my friend Angelo, he's actually in a lot of stuff right now, you know. Well, Dominic, I know Angelo, but he's in Irishman. He's in that movie Rattlesnake. It was just #1 on Netflix. He has the TV show Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, nice.
He's my buddy. I talk to him all the time.
Nice.
A few Shia LaBeouf I spoke to before. He's a kook.
Yeah. Didn't he join a gang or something?
I don't know, bro. I know he wanted to play my friend in the movie, whatever. Bad to have boys. You know, like I said, I had a few of them. A few singers. You know, people that just like. Even I remember I got reached out to somebody about my book. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's like a Disney star. J.J. Hannon. He's like kind of like a big thing. And out of nowhere, he just reached out to me. He says, yo, I ordered your book. He's like a 20-year-old kid from Long Island, but he's like really famous.
Yeah.
And he like says, yo, I ordered your book. I really liked it. I'm like, wow. I thought it was like a fake thing. I'm like, wow, thank you, man. This kid's like on Disney and shit like that, all kinds of shit. Like singing and, you know, and everything. And, you know, I was getting like a lot. That's what got the government mad.
Yeah.
Let me be honest with you. That's what got them mad. Because these people were like liking me for doing bad things, I guess. So they're like, this is like, we wanted you to go like be a different person. You're out there glorifying hurting people and doing stuff. I said, first of all, we hurt each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm glorifying hurting a doctor or a stockbroker or something, but it's mob guys hurting bad guys. We're telling stories. People want to hear them. They took me out, bro.
Yeah.
They made that show gone. They put me in jail. They wouldn't stop coming after me. And I did a lot for them. And they turned on me like that.
But you have a reformed life, though. You
Right.
know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, your message is always like, you know what I mean? I changed my life, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it kind of weirds me out a little bit, because at the end of the day, you always talk about how, you know, you didn't learn until you got older about the treachery of your former life. You know what I mean? And you and John tell kids all the time.
Johnny lived a way different than me. Johnny was, you know, obviously killing a lot of people. Johnny did a lot of wild, but he was in a different era. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, his experience is a little worse than mine, because he was like, you know, doing some brutal shit, you know what I'm saying? So I would say like his experience is a lot more with the Mafia than me. Like, not saying he was more involved, but he was killing people for them.
Right.
He was a hitman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like he literally has like 7, 8 murders. Yeah. So it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? He was actual taking lives for them. So I understand the betrayal with him a lot more with John Jr. because he killed people for the guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would have done that, you know what I'm saying, if I had no problem doing it, but he was actually taking lives for them.
Yeah.
So the betrayal is a lot worse for me, I think, with that.
For sure.
You agree with that, right? Because he's...
Yeah,
come on.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're a sucker. Like, you got me killing people over here. You won't even... I'm in Brazil. You won't even give me commissary money?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's a little different.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
You got to go in detail about this. I wanted to ask you this last time. You went to Florida and blew $300,000 on, right? Dude, you got to talk about that.
Yeah, crazy, man. I
like, what were you spending money? Like, were you going to a strip club and just throwing thousands?
No,
it
was crazy. I don't know. It just went, bro. We were partying, story, and live, and I was on the run, basically. You know what I mean? So it just went, bro. Renting places, you know, everything was living off that, too. You know what I mean? So it just went. I was buying jewelry, just going crazy. You know what I mean?
Say, somebody wants to live vicariously through Gene in a week. With all that money, most people have no idea what it's like to just have that much money on hand and just go buy whatever the you want.
Like, yeah, it's pretty fun.
Can you tell us, like, yeah, well, I can imagine. Like, what are you buying though? Like
all high-end designer clothes. You know what I mean? Like, you know, plus at the time I was with my girlfriend, so she wanted Chanel bags. You know, $5,000 a pop, $6,000 a pop. You know, it just goes, bro. I had the truck, and then I had an MX-5, the souped-up one. I love that truck. Metallic black, basketball interior. Go to nightclubs, you know. Bro, these tables are $5,000.
Yeah.
You want to go into Live or Story, and you get a table, they're $5,000 and better. Guys in there spent $100,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the money I spent in there was really nothing where I was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My truck was like a Honda. They were driving Lambos and Rollses everywhere in Miami when I was hiding out. But like I said, it was a fun experience, you know. It went fast, and then when it was all gone, I went to a wedding and got locked up.
Yeah. Did you ever rock the diamond chains and all that?
Yeah.
The bracelets?
Oh, I had like gold Daytonas. I had the pole. It's worth so much money now.
Yeah.
I bought it for $24,000 in 2014. It's worth like $80,000 right now. Oh, it's a rare. I had the Paul Newman face with the yellow Daytona.
Yeah.
And it's gone. But if I would have had it now, I could have like tripled on it.
No.
Yeah, they go for like $80,000 now. Yeah.
Were you ever? So you were never rocking the Mr. T starter kit with all the gold chains and all that?
Oh, I had gold chains. Yeah, I had
you?
big Miami Cubans. I had 350 gram one. I had a few of them. Yeah, I was into that stuff.
So
you know, yeah, I had all that. Presidentials, APs, all that stuff. Yeah.
Did you ever go to the strip clubs?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
In New York in New York, I was big in the Hustler Club.
Yeah.
I love the Hustler Club. The girls were like really pretty in there. You know what I mean? Because I'm like very picky. Like I don't just go with anybody.
Yeah.
So like I'm a picky dude. So you got to be hot.
Like
you know I'm saying,
what describe for the person listening at home. Like what do you like, and like describe the woman. Like say she's like a dime piece.
Yeah.
Right? Describe like.
Well, I won't date her. No offense, I won't date a stripper. But I mean, like I go in there, but like, I like what I like. You know, you got to be tall, you got to be nice, you got to be hot. You know, blondes particularly. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
'cause I dated Italian girls my whole life. They're not blonde. They're never blonde. You know what I'm saying? So usually, and that's what it was. And I would, I was known all over them because I would party every day. I was a Monday through Sunday guy, not at strip clubs, just everywhere. Me and my friends would go out to different clubs. There's clubs in the city every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So we were out every day.
No kidding.
Every day.
Were you still working out and stuff?
Yeah. We would go to the gym, literally go home. That was our life. And then get ready to go out again. Like if I wasn't doing what I had to do for my people, I was out.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was all over.
When you're at the club, are you dancing and stuff? No.
We just hang out and I was
chilling.
Yeah, section. We have fun. We have fun though, because I used to go out. I had a lot of regular friends too that weren't street guys. And they come out with us. We'd have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of legit rich friends.
Yeah.
So they party too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had lawyer friends. They're worse. Lawyers are worse than everybody. I want you to know that. They're crazy, man. Oh my God.
Do you get the sense that people want to be around the gangster? Do you know that people are like, I want to hang out with this guy. He's cool. Because
it's a hit or miss. Because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They feel like, see, a gangster like I was, they don't sometimes because they feel like I'm always in
yeah.
I always got guns in the car, something on me, so they'll get nervous. But they do like to hang out with the gangsters, some of them, but then they're like, oh no, this kid's wild.
Yeah.
Like he's not pudgy. You know what I'm saying? He's like Tommy D. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. They really didn't, anything could jump off of me at any time. So some of them would be scared off of that. Even to do business with me, that hurt me. Really? Yeah.
Did you tell them like straight up though? Like
if they get in the car, there's guns in the car.
Yeah.
There's weapons in the car. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be hanging out with me. You know what I'm saying?
It's just part of it.
So some people will, run from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they want to hang out with a gangster, but more of like a pudgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything's going on. We're going to drive around. Anything can happen.
It's like we talked about earlier, like they want to hang out with it, but until it goes down, then they're like,
run
about that.
Yeah. I'm out of here.
Yeah, so I get it.
Because I was hands-on broad daylight guy. Mm-hmm. If something had to be done, I just jump out the car right there.
Yeah.
I just seen a guy in the middle of the street. Oh, I gotta get that guy. What do you mean? The guy's like, what are you talking about? I'm stopping the car in the middle of the street. I'm chasing him down. And they're like, I'm not dealing with this shit. Get me the out of here.
Yeah.
So it's a little different, my life.
Did you have a training to be the perfect gangster?
No. It was just I was a hothead. My dad was the same way. It's because it's genetics. Yeah. My dad was a wild guy. He wasn't a mob guy, but he was a street dude. But he was like just nuts, tough, wild. And it's like it was in my blood almost. You know what I'm saying? These Italians are like, how can I say, like pit bulls almost. Sicilians especially, which is like wild. Yeah. So it was just in my blood, man. It's just
part of who you were.
I fly off the handle,
Yeah. It's not like these kids that will watch a gangster movie be like, Joe Pesci is cool, or you know what I mean, or Tommy DeSimone's cool. I want to be like that guy in the movie, like that. Right? You weren't.
You had guys like that, but I wasn't.
There are, but you weren't like that, though, right?
No,
it was a different.
It was just a different thing, and it was more of I didn't think, honestly, when I was growing up, I didn't think I was going to end up as involved as I was. I always knew maybe, when I wanted to be in the street, like I would be a knockaround guy maybe. I didn't know I'd be right-hand man to a captain, to a consigliere, and I'm doing work for these guys, like real work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of mind-blowing. Yeah. That I actually got that like entitlement. Like I was really one of them. Yeah. Not just a wannabe, like, just dropping money off. I was like the guy for a little while.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's a good feeling when you're in that life. Everyone's coming to me for everything. Nobody wouldn't even talk to nobody. It had to go through me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I lived it.
Did you ever feel like you had to be more just because you dress nice, you're in shape, a tall dude, younger? Did you ever felt like some people might not have taken you as seriously just because of how your appearance? You don't look like this menacing monster.
Well,
you know what I mean?
All right, I've heard that before because people are like, yo, I heard some stories about it. I thought you were going to see me. I thought you were going to be 8 foot tall.
Right.
500 pounds, like this giant. You know what I'm saying? But in my neighborhood, everyone knew. Yeah. But outside the neighborhood, everyone was like, oh, that's Gene?
Yeah.
Because you would think I'm just like mean looking.
Right.
You know, I'm not like that until it cracks off. Yeah. And they see, oh, well, that's what they're talking about. Bang, 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 boom, ding, ding, and then everything's shots fired and everything's going on and everything's going on and that's it. And places are getting wrecked and that's it. They come back, cars to places. And, oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. All right. You know what I mean?
So you're hyper aware of everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know
I
what's
watch
up.
everything too.
Yeah.
I'm very observant. I don't like anyone walking me with their hands in their pockets. I don't like anyone walking with their hands behind their back. I'm very observant. I watch everything.
Yeah.
I'm always watching.
So what do you look for in a friend nowadays, right? Say you're out of this life, you live this crazy life for most of your life.
Right.
How do you meet new friends now? How do you
I had a lot. Well, down here I already had people. So when I came down here, I kind of like hung out with this dude, and then he had a bunch of regular friends, and they were seeing like everyone thought like when they met me that I was gonna be like this mean guy and not cool, and then when they met me, everyone's like, "What the?" Like they were so in shock, like, wow, he's awesome. And then I got close with all these regular people, and then I just started hanging out with them all the time.
Yeah.
And I just hang out with them. That's it.
Yeah.
They were in shock as much, like they couldn't believe that I was so down to earth and cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you read about me, you would never think like that I'm cool and down to earth. You know what I mean? But I really am.
Guy.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We're also not talking about. These guys are humans.
Right.
You're a regular human being.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you lived a different life. But at the end of the day, you're a human being, just like everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like from a different part of the country, came up in a completely different life. You know,
and how you spoke about earlier. You know how to separate the two.
Right.
Obviously, you had your life that you had to do, and then obviously, as much as you have your actually rules, regulations of what you were doing in that life,
right,
you still had to just go to the store and be a regular person.
That's right.
Milk.
That's right.
So, like,
that's right.
You know, I mean,
you don't understand that, but at the end of the day, like I agree with that, but you always have the mindset I'm not a regular person because honestly, I could be killed at any point. Like even though I think it couldn't happen, the life I was living, my mother used to tell me, "You're playing Russian roulette, like you really are." And I say, "Yeah, you know." At the end of the day, I could walk out the house and be shot and killed by my own friend. You know, go to jail. She's like, "This is how you want to live? Look over your shoulder every day." Because at the end of the day, you do have to look over your shoulder every day. Right. Feds, I'm hanging out with guys that are highly watched. So now I'm on the radar. My mom caught somebody taking pictures. This is a great story. My mom thought it was a pedophile taking pictures of my little brother. She chased the car down. They were taking pictures of me by the house, and it was an FBI agent. Chased the car down. She took pictures of my son. He was doing it where he was facing that way, and he was literally had the paper, and they were snapping and trying and getting me because reasons why they were trying to get pictures of me by the house because whatever the case may be, but they were trying to get pictures of me by my mother's house, and she chased him down. It was FBI.
Wow.
She goes, "You're a pedophile." She got next to him. Cop, bro.
No shit.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. You know, this is what comes with it. You know what I mean? I
meant as far as, you know, I understand when you're in the life, but then you're just meeting regular people that you know aren't in it. It's like, well, why don't I have to be mean to that guy? That has nothing to do with that type of business I'm in. So, you know.
Well, I have, like I says, I get along with regular people. I do. Like, I'll be honest with you. I really do. I get along with them. We obviously have different backgrounds. Like, you know, I have dark humor. They get off on it. It's like funny to them. Like, wow. Because we'll talk about like doing something up to somebody, but you guys see, we shot this guy. He was laughing. He was crawling. They're like, that's not funny. But me and my friends are laughing because it's bad guys on bad guys. You know what I'm saying? Things we did to each other. So I have dark humor. Most mob guys have very dark humor. You know what I'm saying? So to them, that's a little.
I mean, you have to just even cope with that type of stuff. So I mean, you kind of I
a lot of my friends say that you have very dark humor because to us it's funny. You know what I mean? But to them, it's not. You know, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that it's intimidating? Like people coming up to you, they could be intimidated by you, right? Do you,
I don't like people that try to impress me.
Yeah.
With stories. I don't want to hear about.
I know so and so.
No, that and like I did this, I fought. I don't want to hear that. Like you can't compare that. I'm not here for a pissing contest. The things I've done in 1 month, you've done in your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that with you. And if I knew you were about that, then I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah.
But I know if you weren't, I don't want to hear about you fought a guy in a bar. I'm over here shooting people in broad daylight. Like I don't want to hear about your story, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just talk to me about sports or something.
How often does that happen?
A lot.
A lot.
Because they know what I was about, and I was like a real street guy. Like I wasn't like a jerk off. So they want to tell me about their stories to like impress me. Yeah. But you can't impress me. Right. I hung out with the top of the food chain for organized crime. That there's movies about these people. I worked for them. You can't impress me. Right. Unless you're John Gotti and you're coming to talk to me, I'll be like, oh, wow. You talking to me and come and tell me about you fought a guy in a bar and broke his nose. I'm like, all right.
Are you just like, oh, here we go again?
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just be like, let's talk about, I love sports. Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about movies and things like that. I don't want to talk about what you did in your life. Crimes. Yeah. There's nothing to talk about with that.
Do you play along with it? Or
I know. Yeah, I do. I'll listen to it, but then I'll tell my friends, like, I don't want to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't want to hear that stuff. I'd rather just talk about regular things. You know what I mean? And plus, sometimes when you're around certain people, my stories are pretty bad. And guys will bring it up because they like it. They want everyone to know about my stuff. And I'll be like, chill, because some of this stuff is bad. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's bad guy and bad guy, but it's still violent crimes. Yeah. These people are like doctors and regular people. And you're talking about me hitting the guy in the head with a bat or doing something. It's like, they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It gets me uncomfortable sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because we're trying to live a normal life.
Like I was at dinner yesterday, and the girl, she was with somebody, and she kept saying, the guy was like, oh, yeah, he's like a guy from trying to explain to her what I was. And it was getting me aggravated because I'm like, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, he has a best-selling book. He has that. And then I heard her go, oh, he shot people? So you could see it like bothered them.
Was it at dinner?
Well, she didn't know I was hearing it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
But it was
still
just like,
awkward, right?
It's just like, all right, who cares? Like, all right, what, are you going to judge me now for that? Like, it's my whole life. You know what I'm saying? It's what I've done, and it was bad guy and bad guy. That's how I look at it. That's how we justify it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For Sammy Gavano, I don't know if he could justify 20 murders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I killed 20 guys. What's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. What's the big deal? Wow, I killed 20 guys. Yeah, all right. You like doing it. That was not pleasure. That wasn't business. That was pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, for me, it's like I was bad, but I know I just get a little uncomfortable sometimes when they bring up that stuff.
It's interesting you showing that kind of vulnerability, because a lot of people, they'll never know what it's like. Right. You know what I mean? They'll never know what it's like for you to be in that situation. You know what I mean? Right. Especially completely transforming your life.
Yeah, and like I said, all my friends are regular now. I do have ex-mob friends that are down here, and when they come around, it's like we come together, and it's just like we start acting as if we were in a neighborhood still. Not like towards people, we just start talking, and we just feel like we're still talking lingo, like almost like, this guy's with that guy. It's just like you can't lose that for some reason when you're around your old buddies. Yeah. Like I'm with Dominic Seagal. He was a captain in my family. We know all the same people. So when I'm talking, it's just like being in the neighborhood again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anthony Russo, Colombo, a big-time captain in Colombo family. He's down here. I'm very close with him. When we talk, I know all his friends. I bunked with one of his crazy friends, in jail. So it's like you're in the neighborhood again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It can make you just start thinking everything just hits you again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the only time like I really start reverting, not acting out, but just thinking like, wow, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Thinking of all the stuff. And then that's the only time when I'm around my people, I get like, I'm still in life almost.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Get weirded out.
I get it.
Like I brought up before we started your accent, right, and just like how New York is so different than anywhere else.
Right.
Do you view other people like, you guys are from California, you guys are from Florida, do you look at other people like, wow, they're so different from me, or they talk so different, or like you're like, oh, Matt's accent's weird, what the fuck is that?
No, not really. No,
it's not,
because I know ours is like so unique. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own thing. Even Cleveland has a strong accent. Cleveland Italians, I'm friends with one, they have a strong. Boston, forget it. You know what I mean? So everyone has their own little little thing. I don't care about it. Yeah, I'm not like that.
It's nice to be out of jail though, right?
Yeah,
isn't that?
Yeah,
I'm nice to just go outside and there's palm trees everywhere, sunshine, beautiful women everywhere.
Especially, and I was in the hole.
Yeah.
So that's like being in a bathroom. You know
right.
what I'm saying? For 24 hours. I was there for 80 days at one time. I did a year total of my life in the box.
Yeah.
You talk to the wall almost. You have nothing to do.
Right.
You could literally draw somebody in the wall and talk to them. You're in there by yourself 24 hours a day, and you get 3 meals a day. That's it.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner. You last time you eat 4:30, eat again 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
So you got to survive all night because there's no commissary there. So like I tell people like you want to glorify this gangster and all this gang stuff, and when you get in jail, you're going to see why if you want to change, you don't want to do this shit no more.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's a horrible way of living.
And you can't get that time back.
No.
Time is the most valuable thing because you can't put a price on it. You can never get it back.
Ready? I did 18 to 20, 22 to 26, 30 to 36. And then now 3 violations when I was out. I did another 18 months on top of it. I missed 13 birthdays. Things like that.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to do majority of my life in prison. I was supposed to come home when I was like 70-something years old.
Yeah.
So it's horrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How do you counter how do you counteract your new life? What's your routine to prevent getting in trouble again? Do you have any methods you know what I mean? Like psych yourself up?
I try not to let people get under my skin. You know what I'm saying? I talk to people a lot because I have friends around me that talk sense into me. Because like if I don't have good people around me and they say, yeah, go do it. Yeah, you should get them. You know what I mean? Then I might go, these guys are like, no, come on, you got to stay out with me. Yeah. You got so much going on. You're booked, this, that, so it brings me back. For sure. All right, I got things to stay. I got a reason to be out here.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because if I feel like I ain't got nothing going for me, which I do, it'll put me into
I got you.
This guy's trying to abuse me, and then I start getting crazy.
It's always about the people that you surround yourself with.
Yeah, I got good people around.
So that's good.
I have good people around.
So hopefully you don't have any more birthdays except out here on the streets,
that's it.
So
yeah.
A lot of people watching this at home, they don't realize, one wrong move and you'd be in jail. You know what I mean?
Especially with me, my record is so atrocious. I have legal racketeering. I have state felonies. I'm a career criminal. So if I get, let's say, for instance, you punch a guy in the face and you break his jaw, let's just say, you'll get probation. I get 10 years. I'm a career criminal. You understand? I get caught with an illegal gun. They'll give me life in prison. They'll Career Arms Act me. You understand? So it's a whole new ball game for me.
Yeah.
It's not like a guy catches a charge. I catch a charge, it's over for me. Yeah. There's no negotiating. I'm a career criminal. My guidelines are through the roof. Right. So I know what'll happen if I do something bad or really get in trouble. It's over.
Yeah.
So
Did you said on your social media, are you and John doing a show again together, or you got something?
Yeah, here and there we are. Yeah, we are. I want to sit. I don't like to do it through the camera. Yeah. That's my whole thing. I love doing it like this because we used to get big views. When we sat together, forget it, everybody was glued to us. Yeah. So I want to sit down together and do it.
Is there anything else you wanted to promote? What's the name of your car wash business?
Oh, Auto Spa America.
Or detailing. Auto Spa America.
Auto Spa America. It's located in the International Mall under the Cheesecake Factory.
Nice. And then the book is still going off the shelves on Amazon.
It is a bestseller. Hopefully it becomes a TV show. Matt.
See what happens. With that. Yeah.
I also have another good friend. He's a karate expert. Tommy's stunt double in TV shows. You come on. What about you? You're my actor friend too.
Yeah. No. But
I seen you do that karate. I was bugging out, bro. I thought that was like animated when you're doing those flips and. That's real?
Yeah, man, that's real.
Bro, when he sent me that ninja, I was like, what the fuck are you doing that? You're really good, bro.
Oh, thanks, man.
Wait, you a black belt?
Yeah, I got black belts,
Yeah, man, that's amazing what you were doing. I like karate. I'm going to get Steven Seagal now.
Oh, dude, Steven Seagal, man, he does that fake hand lock.
Bullshit, right?
Hold my arm here. I'm going to grab your finger here. Now you're going to roll over and do a acrobatic flip. Like, it's not real life.
You know what I love about his movies? Every guy just runs at him with their head down, just throws him through a window. Every guy just goes, Seagal. They just run him and just chucks him through a window. That's his karate,
Dude, we had our buddy back home. We did an interview with him. He's a professional MMA fighter.
Oh, Kevin
Novacek. He's called Give Me Your Lunch Money. That's his nickname. He's not a bully or anything. Right. He's just a funny guy. But he was in Abu Dhabi with Bilal Muhammad and Khabib, correct?
Yes, correct.
And Steven Seagal walked into the room in Abu Dhabi. It was for a UFC event or whatever. And he's dressed in this robe with his hair slicked back, dark hair. And it's incredible because I don't know if you follow the UFC or not, but Steven Seagal started making appearances like years back. Like the middleweight champion Anderson Silva, Steven Seagal was telling people that he coached them and that Anderson Silva won the middleweight title because of him and all this. Right?
Why?
What?
It was a lie.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah. Because he also said he trained the CIA, which was a lie.
Right. No, absolutely. No, he's a movie star that lies. You know what I mean?
But he cried on the stand after he testified against Peter Tuccio. The agents were hugging him.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
Really?
He got Peter Gotti 22 years. He was hugging. The agents were hugging because they were taking movie checks from him. So he was crying after he testified. I always knew Steven Seagal was like this big tough guy. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow. What's he crying over? I said, yeah, he's not going anywhere.
That is the best story ever. How did you find out about
And
that?
he had my judge, Judge Block, the same judge that loves me, Judge Block. Let me tell you, you're the greatest guy ever. Judge Block went against the government so many times for me, and he was the judge on that case. And Steven Seagal was testified against Peter and was crying. The agents were hugging him.
How did you hear that?
Everyone knows that in my neighborhood. It was
Holy
great.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
They're all actually holding.
Yes, he was like this crying. They were hugging him.
Dude, that is unbelievable. Man.
He's gonna reach out to me over this.
Hey.
You have nothing to worry about. Trust me. Did you ever see that one movie where he was playing the gangster cop in New York?
What, Out for Justice?
Yes.
His accent is horrendous. Bro, I hate it. Gino. Anybody know what barbecue boat is? It's so bad. It's like the worst. And you know who's in that? Gianni Russo, who I hate more than anything. The Italian actor, Gianni Russo. He's a He goes on there. I was at Paul Castellano's wedding. He talks like he's the gangster in Hollywood. He calls himself. Bro, he's so full of shit. Another one. And I hated that movie, bro. The acting was absolutely horrible.
The fight scenes
were so terrible. Guys just jumping through windows.
I think that's
terrible.
why he even became who he was, because it was just so bad.
so ridiculous.
So bad.
It sucks.
It was so bad. I like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I was a fan of him.
Oh, yeah.
He's nuts.
Bloodsport?
I watch all of him. He's really like that, bro.
Yeah.
He's nice. He's a real karate expert.
Yeah, he was a real fighter. Yeah, Bloodsport was a classic though.
Yeah.
That was like MMA before.
That's like you fight like that, right?
Yeah, we do Muay Thai, kickboxing, stuff like that.
I like to see you fight Seagal. I'm gonna arrange that.
Dude. Hey, I'll do it, man.
I want you to kick the shit out of him, right?
Hey, listen, you do the commentary. We'll get the cameras. We'll all go viral and make millions. I'm serious, dude.
John Gotti Jr.'s son is fighting Mayweather again.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
How did that get arranged?
Who knows? 50 Cent, I think, because 50's good friends with John Jr. So I think that. Yeah.
Oh no.
They probably arranged it, and another fake fight.
Yeah.
It's so arranged.
Did you watch it?
No,
Like the
it's so fake. They're just doing it. They're making $100 million. It's fixed. It's like such. You know what I mean? But it's they're making money.
Yeah. Do you know who Logan Paul is?
Yeah.
The Paul brothers. And all
Yeah,
that
they're
shit?
gazillionaires. They're doing great.
Yeah. Are you a fan of their boxing or no?
Yeah, the younger brother.
Jake
I
Paul?
think he looks like he really could fight.
Yeah.
I don't know about the tall one. I don't know that the
WWE
shorter one.
guy,
Yeah. They're both acrobatic athletes, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely athletes, but I think it's all fixed. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know Dylan Dennis at all?
No.
Do you know who he is? John Elite's friends with him, but he was the one that boxed Logan Paul a couple months ago on a card. He's from New York. He's a big jiu-jitsu guy. He's good friends with Conor McGregor.
Okay.
I think John knows him. I was just curious. He's a social media star and like that.
Okay.
But he's very entertaining. He's out there. He's talking mad to the world all the time.
Really?
So you probably get along with him.
Yeah, I'd like to see who he is. Yeah,
He's a good ball buster.
Yeah.
Very good ball buster.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we're not going to keep you here all day, Gene.
It's all right. That was fun.
Yeah, it was super.
I always have a good time with you guys.
It's always great too.
Yeah.
I love it. You say some things that I'm like, I get caught me off guard. I'm dying. I love it.
Every time there's new. Everything we talk about is viral.
I'll do shows like this. I like that. I don't like the ones where it's like I feel uncomfortable. This is awesome. It's like just hanging out with your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I like shows like this. And these are the shows that rock and everybody like watches them,
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. We'll go buy Gene's book right now. Gene, tell him your book.
Born in the Life. It's Amazon and bestseller. Go check it out, man. It's an amazing book. There's a lot of good stuff in it.
Absolutely. I loved it. I love that book. It was awesome.
All right, Gene. We appreciate your time, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.